Let's go back to the latest on the hurricane now. More live pictures from Tampa, Florida. Let's take a look at those. Watches and warnings stretch across that state, with Hurricane Idalia now targeting the state's Gulf Coast.
Yeah, this is a massive storm as we understand it, continuing to grow as it inches toward the shoreline. Just hours now ahead of landfall, hitting tomorrow morning. Betsy's been watching this thing like a hawk. We see some people out there still because it's still far enough away. Look at them, they're out on surfboards because that's what they do. Hopefully smart enough to get out of there.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is we won't see the really rapidly deteriorating conditions for Tampa for probably another, I don't know, maybe 6 to 12 hours. And it's areas north of Tampa that are going to get the direct impact. So Tampa's going to ride kind of the sidelines on this one, but it still could be plenty of a ride for those folks. Let's take a look at the latest. We now have an eye that is emerging in the center of a storm. That is significant. That is a sign of strengthening and organization. And what you need is organization to get the strengthening. So you can kind of see how these thunderstorms right there are beginning to wrap around a central eye, and it's beginning to open up. That is significant in the world of tropical meteorology. There is a Hurricane Hunter aircraft that is flying in the storm right now. There were 4 different aircraft that were going to be in the storm through the day today, and this is the data that is so critical that they provide. It's called vortex data. These are the little dropsons that they literally drop out of the bottom of the airplane, and they're digital readings of atmospheric conditions all the way down to the surface. I know it looks like a bunch of gibberish, but a couple interesting things to note here. F, this is your condition of the eye. It is open to the northwest, and we are just now starting to see that eye really coming together. So at last fix, they noted that. Also, the maximum wind speed 63 knots. So this is their estimated maximum surface wind speed, which equates to almost 74 miles per hour. And then down here, maximum flight winds 91 knots. So up inside of those thunderstorms, they have encountered winds that are 104 miles per hour. And all of that is kind of just little bits of data that really add to the picture. So with all of that in mind, the National Weather Service Hurricane Center upgraded Idalia to a Category 2 earlier, and you can kind of see how the storm's impacts are already being felt along the Gulf Coast of Florida. That is significant. This is not a one and done kind of a thing. This is going to be a long, prolonged night for a whole lot of folks. It is expected to continue to intensify. You can see where the hurricane warnings are already posted from Port St. Joe and Mexico Beach all the way down through Tampa. The city of Tampa is still under a hurricane warning. Even though the center of the storm will be west, the impacts will be much greater, and they are expecting those hurricane force winds to go mostly into the Big Bend of Florida. That is also where the most impactful storm surge will be. 12 to 15 foot storm surge. That is literally 12 to 15 foot wall of water coming ashore. That will mainly impact the estuaries because of this beautiful area, which is also known as the Forgotten Coast. All the different coasts have names in Florida. They named theirs the Forgotten Coast, but everybody knows where they are right now because that storm is coming. So the forecast models, interestingly, bring that storm north. And the reason it's coming north right now is because it basically is being steered by high pressure that's out in the Atlantic, and it is riding along a cold front that is over the Appalachians. The cool air that we have in our forecast is driving everything right now. And as that cool air swings to the east, that will help to speed the storm up. It crosses Georgia and then back into the Atlantic Ocean by the time we get into tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. And it looks like that storm system will continue to then curve back out toward the Bahamas. But for the most part, it is our cool air that is coming that is helping to steer that storm. So thankfully, it's not coming due north. It's going to head out to sea. We have temperatures tonight that drop back into the mid-60s under mostly clear skies. Here's the front of the cooler air that is on the way, and that cold front may stir up a few scattered showers for us as we head through the overnight. National Design hour-by-hour forecast brings some showers into our western counties by 10 p.m. By midnight, we're probably going to have a few isolated showers around greater Cleveland and Mansfield. All of that moves out for tomorrow morning. Temperatures tomorrow morning, 50s to around 60. The comfortable air is here to stay, but it's going to start to get more humid. And just about the time it gets more humid, the temperatures really start cranking up. Here's your Union Home Mortgage forecast. Look where we go from here. All kinds of sunshine coming in, so that's good news. But boy, the heat will be on. The last weekend of unofficial summer will be a doozy for us as temperatures are going to crank up to around 90 degrees, maybe even a couple clicks higher, and hold.
You know what Friday is, though, right? September 1st.
It is.
What happens?
Well, there's a few things that happen, Russ, but I'm sure you're going for the start of meteorological fall.
That's what I was going for.
I was waiting. I thought, ooh, there's something going on.
You know, first Friday of Labor Day weekend and
No,
cocktails, and you know where my brain goes on that.
That's where my brain went. All right.
Thank you, Betsy.